Alright, so the wizard said that if I just say his name, then I get his powers. He wrote it down for me because it was really silly. Alright, let's see what this says. Looks pretty simple. Shazam? What was that? Okay, I'm a little nervous to say it again. Shazam. What is that? All jokes aside though, Shazam is probably already, I'm willing to say, the best DC movie ever made. If you don't count V for Vendetta, which I guess maybe for the purpose of this discussion, maybe we shouldn't. But yeah, spoiler alert, I think Shazam is phenomenal. Oh, you're still watching? Okay, let's do this then. Shazam is the story of a boy named Billy Batson who says a name. I'm not going to say it again because lightning, and he gets the strength of, well, you know what, he just gets a bunch of different gods' powers and an old biblical king's wisdom. I'm not very good at this. But one of the key things about Billy is that he's a foster kid, so one of the main themes in this movie is like finding your home, finding where you belong, where you fit in, stuff like that. And that really resonates with me because I have moved around a lot as a kid. I've lived in a lot of different places, had to make new friends, meet new people. It's very overwhelming for a kid to have to do multiple times like Billy has. So instantly, Billy Batson is one of the most relatable superheroes in any movie, for me at least. And this movie must have gone to Subway before it started happening because everything in it is just so fresh. That's a terrible joke. But like, it all works so well because Zachary Levi, being a giant kid, does a great job of not just playing Captain Marvel, but playing the adult version of Asher Angel. Because the thing is, when he gets big, he doesn't become an adult. He's just big now. So Zachary Levi was very able to capture what it would be like to be a child, but still have all these responsibilities and superpowers because that's the position that he's in. And yeah, he's going to make some mistakes. He's going to screw up because he's solving problems the way a kid would. He's reacting to being a superhero the way that a kid would. He decides to become famous off of it, like Spider-Man did in the original comics before actually deciding to be a hero. It's what a child would do. He's the same age as Spider-Man usually is when he gets his powers. So I want to say real quick, this Shazam movie is better at being a Spider-Man movie than Spider-Man is. Weird, right? But it's just the world we live in now. But this movie is so creative, it's so fun, it's so rejuvenating to the superhero genre, and it's a solid second hit from DC. I mean, Aquaman was great and all, but that's because it's not good. Shazam, I guess the lightning stopped. Shazam is good on its own, like being a non-ironically good movie, like something that you can actually enjoy, something that's tightly written, well-directed, got good CGI, especially for being one of the lowest budget superhero films in recent years. Lower budget than Venom, lower budget than Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, Avengers, Aquaman, all that stuff. They've all got hundreds of millions of dollars in budget, but this one had 80 million. And the CGI is stronger here than it is in Aquaman. Another thing this movie is really good at is creating splash pages. What a splash page is an iconic image from a comic book that takes two different pages to get the whole image on. So the moment in the trailer where he jumps off the roof and he yells, "Shazam!" and the lightning bolt comes and hits him, and then he starts flying off. Not only is that the most beautiful moment in any superhero movie I've seen in quite a long time, but it's a beautiful splash page. And I hope that when the Blu-ray Steelbook comes out, that's on the cover of it. That's all I need. And about the villain, Dr. Sivana, two things, right? I'm tired of people saying that Marvel has a villain problem because of the villain just being a mirror image of the hero. Because Aquaman and Shazam have that, and it works very well for those stories, okay? Okay. Also, Dr. Sivana is a beautiful representation of what Billy could have been had he let the idea of power in its infinite form be the thing that drives him. If he'd been more attracted to power throughout the movie than doing the right thing, because his character arc is more, I have to look out for myself and I have to fend for myself because I don't need a family. He's very, I don't want to say self-centered, but he's self-driven the whole movie. So when he gets his powers, he doesn't decide to become a hero right away. And neither does Dr. Sivana. He becomes a villain. So when Billy sees Sivana, he's like, hey, that could have been me because we're very similar in that we didn't really have people growing up. We've always had to fend for ourselves. And that's the kind of thing that I love from Spider-Man villains. It's one of the, like Caecilius and Doctor Strange, is that it's just, I could have been you, but I made one different decision. That's all it takes. And Mark Strong gives an absolutely beautiful performance. as Dr. Sivana. He's actually probably my new favorite DC movie villain. It's funny because the last time he played a DC villain, he was Sinestro. The last time Djimon Hounsou played a DC character, he was a Fishman and Aquaman. Everybody's careers are adapting. Zachary Levi, I cannot give him enough props. It's like he and Asher, by the way, how cool of a name is Asher Angel? But it's like he and Asher were hanging out offset so that they could get a better understanding of each other, because Zachary is playing Asher so well. Best thing about it, though, is that it's a very Shazam story. It could not have been about anybody but Captain Marvel. And that's very important, because there's a lot of superhero movies where it's like, you could take this character out and put any character in there. The story stays the same. You gotta be able to come up with a story about the character that you're working with. That's just a personal thing. The final act of this movie, very exciting, very interesting, very unique. And I think I'm running out of things to gush about, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and rate this thing. Shazam is, without a doubt, spectabulous. Yeah, the only other DC movie you'll see me say is spectabulous is V for Vendetta, if I ever review that. But hey, Shazam, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below. And if you get me this, if you want more videos from me, then you know what to do.